Today, we're diving into the ultimate DPS showdown, ranking the strongest characters from launch up to the latest update. Are you ready to see who burns, freezes, shocks, or obliterates everything in their path? Then let's dive right into it! Starting off at number 10, we have Navia Caspar, a Geo Claymore powerhouse hailing from Fontaine. As a 5-star Geo DPS, she delivers massive burst damage thanks to the crystallization mechanic. Her playstyle feels like a mix between Eula and Yelan. She launches a volley of explosive crystal pillars that deal huge AoE damage. Navia shines in a hyper-burst setup, charging her elemental burst to wipe out enemies in one go, with her Geo abilities wreaking havoc both on single targets and groups. Her strengths lie in her massive frontal burst and AoE coverage, thanks to the crystals she leaves behind. In a team, she takes full advantage of Geo Resonance and excels when triggering crystallization. Pair her with Zhongli for a strong shield, or with other main DPS characters to stack Geo damage. She also pairs well with supports like Farina for HP scaling hydro damage, and an attack booster like Bennett to push her burst to ultra levels. Her ideal gear features the new Whispering Night Souls set to maximize burst attack. In Spiral Abyss, Navia shines in crystallization-focused teams, with Yelan, Jiangling, plus Bennett per example. Her signature weapon, Verdict, combined with an attack and crit build, allows her to one-shot enemies. That said, her DPS is very burst-heavy and less consistent, making it crucial to optimize her elemental skill and balance energy recharge. Even so, this new Geo DPS is extremely formidable, standing out with astronomical instant damage via crystallization, though some purists still think she needs a bit of fine-tuning to reach top-tier Geo status. Moving on to number 9, we have Chasca, a unique Anemo archer with incredible versatility. Armed with a magical bow, she fires projectiles infused with the element she encounters: Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo, and can soar through the air thanks to her elemental skill. Chasca can trigger virtually any elemental reaction in a team, making her an ideal rainbow DPS for hybrid compositions. Essentially, her gameplay revolves around adaptability. Depending on the active character, her arrows change element, allowing reactions like Melt, Vaporize, or Overload to happen consistently. Her strengths include aerial mobility, letting her evade ground attacks, and multi-target AoE damage, giving her an edge in output. Chasca fits into almost any elemental team. She works well in Melt compositions or Overload setups, regularly fueling elemental reactions. Characters like Venti or Sucrose help group enemies and generate energy. She can act as an Anemo buffer, but her real potential shines in multi-element teams. For artifacts, a 4-piece Obsidian Nightfall set is recommended to boost her nighttime damage, which benefits her burst potential. High crit alternatives are viable if needed. In Spiral Abyss, Chasca handles scattered waves exceptionally thanks to her Anemo plus AoE capabilities. While she may not hit the raw numbers of a single element hypercarry, she makes up for it with remarkable flexibility. In short, Chasca is a DPS who prioritizes fun and adaptability over sheer numbers. With the right build, like Obsidian plus suitable supports, she can surprise in many situations, even if she ranks slightly lower than other hypercarries. Coming in at number 8 is Kinich, a 5-star Dendro Claymore from Natlan. He's a nimble nocturnal hunter who leaps onto his targets, delivering powerful Dendro strikes. His gameplay revolves around burning, burgeon, or spread. He excels at quickly applying Dendro to enemies with his charged attacks and devastating burst. His strengths include mobility, he can grapple and jump, high single-target damage, and excellent Dendro application to trigger reactions efficiently. Kinich shines in teams focused on burning or burgeon. For instance, pairing him with a Pyro support like Xiangling activates burning, while an Electro character like Fischl helps trigger spread. He also works in hyper-bloom setups, with double Hydro comps benefiting from his burst. Characters like Nahida gain extra value from his damage. Kinich earns extra Night Soul points when attacking enemies in the burning state, reinforcing his role in these compositions. In Spiral Abyss, he excels against isolated enemies thanks to his burst and strong Dendro and crit scaling. He's often used in double Dendro teams to maximize bloom. He requires a solid crit and Dendro build and some practice, as he is vulnerable to interruptions. His recommended main artifact set is a 4-piece Obsidian Codex, giving energy recharge and a crit bonus to Night Soul points on skill use. In Abyss, Kinich fits best in fire or electro-oriented compositions. He can rack up huge damage on a single boss, but needs good team synergy. A pure, constant Dendro DPS setup limits his potential. In short, Kinich is a niche burst DPS who demands careful reaction planning. His dynamic gameplay and strong damage firmly earn him a spot here. Next, at number 7, we have Mualani, a 5-star Hydro Catalyst DPS who's incredibly fun to play, thanks to her shark-shaped surfboard. She's a front-loaded Hydro DPS. Her damage peaks immediately after activating her elemental burst, Sharky's Bite, scaling off HP and delivering massive Vaporize damage. In practice, you charge her enhanced attack after surfing, triggering a huge blow-up. Her style thrives on Vaporize reactions. She applies Hydro to enemies. Then a Pyro support like Bennett or Xiangling finishes the combo. Her highlights include devastating burst, HP scaling, and the playful surfboarding animation for exploration. Mualani pairs perfectly with quick Pyro supports like Bennett for attack boost and healing, or with Nahida plus a 5-star Pyro DPS to chain Vaporize reactions. Characters like Emily or Farina can help maintain reaction uptime. The key is to trigger a Vaporize with each of Mualani's massive attacks. Her preferred artifact set is a 4-piece Obsidian Nightfall, boosting energy recharge and enhancing her burst. Alternatively, the classic 4-piece Heart of Water works for general Hydro DPS. In Spiral Abyss, Mualani shines on floors where big Hydro or Pyro bursts are needed. She can hit multiple enemies but remains fragile. Missing her Sharky's Bite means a total failure. Some see her as a hyper carry with double Pyro support, but this setup is risky. Overall, she's a rising Hydro DPS star, ultra cute on her surfboard, and capable of monstrous Vaporize damage. Her only drawback is that she requires setup, element alignment, to fully explode. At number 6 is Varesa, the 5-star electro-diving DPS that everyone finds adorable. Her gameplay is simple, yet powerful, relying on plunging attacks. She launches into the air and smashes down, triggering massive electro damage. Essentially, her damage comes almost entirely from plunges, which have huge multipliers. No complicated combos. Varesa floods the area with massive electro damage, especially effective in Electro-Charged teams. For example, pairing her with Iansen, Furina, and Bennett enables continuous chain damage. Allies like Shivrus allow constant overload reactions, multiplying her damage, while attack buffers like Bennett or Sarah further enhance her output. Janssen or Shivrus particularly boost her damage accumulation. In short, Varesa shines in fast-paced, reaction-focused compositions. Her ideal artifact set is a 4-piece Long Night's Oath, perfect for plunge DPS like her as it amplifies their damage. A 4-piece Obsidian Codex is a good alternative, but Long Night's Oath remains the top choice. In Spiral Abyss, Varesa excels against flattened enemy packs, easily applying AoE Electro and benefiting from Vaporize buffs. Her main limitation is burst duration. Energy recharge is limited, so she must chain plunges quickly. In summary, Varesa is a simple click, click, boom DPS, who, with a proper crit and attack-focused build, she deals enormous damage, especially in Hydro Synergy teams. Her entire kit revolves around plunges, emphasizing crit, attack, and crit damage. At number 5, we have Alhaitham, the first truly worthy 5-star Dendro Sword DPS, and a genuine puzzle master. He's a pure bloom and hyper bloom aggro character. His ultimate combo unleashes a massive line of Dendro projectiles, dealing huge AoE damage. He excels at both single target and multi-target damage while rapidly applying Dendro, and he has plenty of elemental mastery to boost his damage. His passive further amplifies damage through EM, meaning he's designed to explode whenever Dendro reactions are triggered. Alhaitham thrives in bloom and hyper bloom teams. For example, a double Hydro duo like Nilou and Farina continuously applies Hydro to enemies, while a Dendro support like Nahida complements him. Anemo supports like Sucrose or Kazuha help group enemies to maximize his ultimate's effect. On attack, his green AoE damage is massive, especially under bloom. His preferred artifact set is a 4-piece Gilded Dreams, maximizing his EM and Dendro damage, while his signature weapon, the Luminescent Leaf, provides extra crit and EM. In Spiral Abyss, he shines in bloom comps, shredding groups with leafy AoE attacks. Outside of reactions, he remains a stable DPS, though not as fast as a classic Pyro D-Lick. His gameplay is quite intellectual, requiring EM management rather than button mashing, but in skilled hands, he delivers enormous Dendro damage. This puzzle master deserves 5th place. Once his rotation is dialed in, enemies fall in an instant. Moving to number 4, we have Skirk, the freshly arrived 5-star Cryo Swordswoman. Her unique gameplay combines Cryo and Anemo. Her charged attack delivers a chilling Cryo strike, and she can glide over water using her skill, marking targets. She specializes in freezing enemies and bursting them, making her a highly accessible Cryo River DPS. Her strength lies in charged normal attacks infused with Cryo, which devastate frozen groups. She also places void rifts that explode frozen enemies nearby. Skirk excels in freeze compositions. Pair her with hydro supports to freeze enemies, and Cryo, Pyro, or Anemo buffers to trigger melt or vaporize during her burst. In Spiral Abyss, freeze teams or Shenhe plus Furina comps showcase her full potential. She doesn't need energy recharge, no spammable skill, so rotations remain fluid and her damage always accessible. Her combos flow naturally, creating a stable DPS output. The ideal artifact set is a 4-piece final of the Deep Galleries, boosting damage dramatically when her energy is low and maximizing crit. Alternatives include a 4-piece Blizzard Strayer or Marsh Hunter if paired with a Hydro sub-DPS like Furina. With a crit and attack-focused build and her signature weapon Azure Light, Skirk melts frozen bosses with ease. In Abyss, she becomes monstrous at C2+, with persistent ice towers. Overall, Skirk combines battlefield stability with violent cryo bursts. She ranks ahead of other DPS like Alhaitham and Varesa thanks to her versatile kit and ease of use, despite freeze constraints. Her icy burst makes her a giant on her lake. At number 3 is Neuvillette, the 5-star hydro catalyst from Fontaine, nicknamed the Underground Cleaner. His specialty? Charged icy shots that explode in AoE, breaking frozen bubbles. He's like a continuous hydro missile, spamming charged attacks from a distance, dealing huge damage even without burst. A true one-man army, his build emphasizes hydro/attack, and his damage remains stable thanks to minimal reliance on ER and continuous charged attacks. Neuvillette thrives with multiple reactions. Electro characters enable Electro-Charged, hydro supports like Furina boost reactions, and freeze comps with Sitlali or Shenhe add control. In Spiral, he shines in burst DPS comps like Lunar and Nefer. His hydro mobility and strong AoE charges exploit enemy vulnerability. His ideal partner is often Furina, providing healing and energy recharge. His hydro burst covers the area efficiently, perfect for controlling fights. The main drawback is that he benefits from shields. Without them, he takes damage quickly. His recommended artifact sets include a 4-piece Marsh Hunter, reducing ER and boosting hydro damage, or the classic 4-piece Heart of Depth. In Abyss, Neuvillette is highly valued in burst DPS mode. An optimized hydro build can almost solo carry a floor. He floods the battlefield with water, relentlessly targeting enemies, making him a formidable hydro DPS tank. His ranking here is well-deserved, as a C0 or C6 build is simply monstrous. At number 2, we have Mavuika, the warrior goddess of Natlan riding her fiery motorcycle. She's a Pyro Claymore DPS of near mythical caliber. Her burst unleashes a festival of explosive flames. Her ultimate, Nightbreak, Saber Rain, devastates all enemies with massive pyro volleys, and she can seamlessly chain on-field and off-field attacks without downtime. Guides note that her burst scaling is absolutely insane, bordering on absurd. She can tank hits, swap between 2 characters, and stagger enemies. Mavuika shines in 100% Natlan Pyro teams. For instance, Mavuika plus Zilonin, which buffs attack, lowers resistance, and provides healing or shield, is a classic comp. She also works well with Sitlali plus Bennett, which provides healing and cryo application. A sub-DPS like Furina allows destructive Vaporize chains. The goal is to maximize melt or Vaporize with each attack. Artifact-wise, she often runs a 4-piece Obsidian Codex or a 4-piece Crimson Witch. Extending the duration of her pyro buffs, and her staff plus full crit build grants colossal DPS. In Spiral Abyss, Mavuika consistently ranks at the top. Her pyro damage is massive, especially against high-resistance enemies, and her burst reactivates her bonuses. For example, in Abyss Floor 12, she thrives in melt comps with Zilonin plus Bennett plus Xitlali, decimating everything. The only drawback is bosses with high pyro resistance, where she might need to play sub-DPS. Overall, her performance is stratospheric. She's practically one of the best DPS ever, though one character surpasses her. An honorable mention goes to Flins, a highly anticipated 5-star Electro polearm arriving in version 6.0. Designed as a lunar charge DPS, he triggers a special lunar charge state to deal overpowered damage. Guides suggest building him as a standard Electro DPS, crit and attack priority, then EM, focusing on his burst and passives. He earns this mention as a nod. While he isn't in-game yet, all signs point to him being a monstrous special DPS on release. Finally, at number 1, the crown goes to Arlecchino. Fontaine's blazing Pyro Spear wielder? This fiery lancer is outright monstrous, dealing astronomical pyro damage in both single target and AoE. Her gameplay is straightforward. Her entire kit revolves around overpowered pyro normal attacks. She has no off-field phase. She stays on the field constantly, raining enormous flaming hitboxes. Her burst and charge normals obliterate enemies. Her strengths include monstrous lane damage output and AoE plus mono versatility. She's constantly pyro, scorching the entire map. Like all hyper-carry pyro DPS, she loves Hydro or Dendro supports for targeted reactions, and an Anemo character which can group enemies and amplify pyro. Bennett is essential for buffs and healing. The key is chaining Melt or Vaporize on every attack. Arlecchino typically runs the Harmonic Dream, Fragment of Dreams, 4-piece set, and her weapon, Crimson Moon's Semblance, perfectly boosts crit rate and crit damage. In Spiral, she immediately became the top carry DPS. Her flame vortices annihilate grouped enemies. With Harmonic Dream, she literally one-shots packs. Her only weakness is limited self-sustain, no shield/heal, relying on her team to survive. But at C0 or C6, she's a true fire locomotive. In short, Arlecchino embodies the ultimate pyro main DPS. Massive damage, AoE, consistent output, and visually stunning flair. Closing this ranking in flames, and that wraps up the top 10 strongest DPS in Genshin Impact. We've seen everything, from infernal flames to icy torrents and explosive elemental combos. Each character here earns their spot with a unique playstyle. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe for more insane rankings and guides. Until next time, stay on fire, drench your enemies, and get ready for more epic adventures. See you in the next one.